Hello, everyone. This is John coming to you live from Reset. This is Coffee Convos. And today I have Joe Gagliardi with me as my guest, and he's magically flying over the city of Folsom right now. How did you do that magic?
Hey, that's what good team members do for you when you don't have that capability.
Joe, are you excited that I pronounced your name right?
I absolutely am. I can tell you're a graduate of Nevada Union High School because you could say it right.
Well, look at that. That is, I am a minor. I am from Grass Valley. That's awesome. And you, were you a graduate of NU?
I am. I'm a Nevada City boy, though, see, not a Grass Valley.
Yeah, I knew that Nevada City, but for some reason, I may have missed that little tidbit, that trivia. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're super smart, aren't we? Look at us. So Joe is the grand poobah of, that's my title for you, of the Greater Folsom Partnership. Yes?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I've
Not
had
grand
people,
poobah, but
but what's your official title?
President CEO.
President and CEO. I want to be the president and CEO of Reset. Can I take that one?
I thought Tawny was.
Actually, that is true. That is true. So, touche. That is good. I'm so glad that you're here with us today, man. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Greater Folsom Partnership and what you guys are all about?
Yeah, so the Greater Folsom Partnership is a collaboration of three different organizations: the Chamber of Commerce, the Tourism Bureau, and the Economic Development Corporation in Folsom. And they're all co-housed and share resources so that we can cover a wide range of sectors of business opportunities associated with our community, whether it be chamber and connecting business people, advocating for them, supporting them; for tourism, bringing visitors to town, and helping our hotels and our restaurants and our retail. And then the economic development is about helping businesses get up and running, and also attracting, retaining, and helping them expand when they want to. So all three have meld together.
Is this your baby? Did you start the Greater Folsom Partnership? How did this whole thing work?
Well, we've always, since I started here, we created the three organizations. Yes.
Okay.
The Greater Folsom Partnership as a brand was launched about 2 years ago because we got tired of trying to describe all three organizations. So we thought it'd be best if we just called it the Greater Folsom Partnership. And as time moved on, it would start to become, people would start to say, oh, I get it. All three organizations are there and they cover the different sectors.
Okay. That timeline makes sense for me because when my friend, our friend, Don Johnson, was working with the Chamber, there was a period of time where every time I said the Folsom Chamber, she would say Greater Folsom Partnership. I would say the Chamber and she'd say Greater Folsom Partnership. So she was always, she was great. You should know that. Your staff, other people have done the same, really good at letting us know the brand.
Yeah, it's a little challenging because, you look at it and there's this one point in time where the age of people can really relate to a Chamber of Commerce, what it is. And when you say Chamber of Commerce, they get it. And then there's this demographic that tends to be younger who says, what the hell is a Chamber of Commerce? I don't get it.
Sure.
And so, it's hard to get away from the Chamber of Commerce name because there's a lot of people that relate to it, right? They'd say, hey, I drive into a town, I'd stop at the Chamber and get my map, or, but there are younger people that are like, I don't need a map, I use Google, you know what I mean? So what do I need a Chamber for? So it's kind of a transition that'll probably take some time. Yeah.
You guys have been super helpful for us as a business. So for anybody watching this, it was a lengthy process to try and launch Reset here in Folsom, just because there's so many people involved in the mix, and you were very helpful to me. So thank you for that. I mean, just as a resource, as sounding board, pointing us in the right direction, helping us know who we should talk to make things happen. It was,
Well, John, thank you. I appreciate that. I know, it was somebody from our team probably as much as myself, but there's a great group of people that work here, and I'm blessed to have them here because, I mean, if there was any message that I would want to put out there is that they really have your interest at heart. They really care about people. They care about them being successful, and they want to work as hard. And I think that's just kind of a common theme we have here.
yeah.
I'm really proud that the people here are like that because we're like family, and they care about you like family. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. What's your biggest dream for the Greater Folsom Partnership, or GFP, if you will?
We've worked on several different initiatives in town, and if I was to, I don't know if it's GFP or it's just from a community base, what my dream would be is that we had a riverfront, lakefront that was more accessible, had more amenities associated with it. It became an asset to the community. I mean, it is an asset. I don't want to say it's not, but there's so many places that have used that don't have waterfronts that would die to have them. And, if you take Folsom Lake and you take Lake Natoma and, visited other communities to see what they've done along their waterfronts, whether it's, more access or more recreational opportunities. It would be nice if it became Lake Natoma, because it's on the banks of the historic district.
Mm-hmm.
If it became like Golden Gate Park, or it became like Stanley Park up in Vancouver, where it really was an all-inclusive park with different themes throughout it, whether it's history or whether it's kayaking. And I mean, I think the Sac State Aquatic Center is a perfect example of an amenity that sits on the lake that isn't obtrusive. And there used to be Boy Scout camps on the river, and there used to be, and I think there's still opportunities to have a wide variety of things. And because it sits right on the edge of the historic district, how cool would that be to have a connection, and but that's a big endeavor.
I love our historic district.
Yeah.
It's Tawny and I, my wife and I, when we were teenagers, we used to drive down from Grass Valley when we were NU students and have dates down here in the historic district.
Yeah.
And gosh, 20 something years ago, I used to play music out in the median when there was the median going through the street. Believe it or not, I used to play music right outside the building where we are located right now. Is really, that right? Every once in a while, it's eerie, but to think back on that is super fun. But you guys are doing a great job of creating community in Folsom.
A sense of place, I mean, that's really what it's about. And people ask me what sets Folsom apart, and I think for me personally, having grown up in Nevada City, is the Stark District gives people a sense of a small town community, but it has a lot of amenities that you might find in a larger community, right? So, you can never leave town for shopping. At least I don't have to. You can go to the Harris Center if you want to see a Broadway production. The trails are unbelievable. You can kayak on the river. I mean, there's so many things associated with the community. And when people come in the visitor center, that are maybe relocating, they just find it to be a jewel that, wow, this is like how I grew up, or this is the town I grew up. And so I think that whole historic district we need to maintain that, to keep that sense for people.
It's almost distinctive by nature. When it's funny when you said Harris Center, which I love the Harris Center. Actually, did a music gig a lot, like a online virtual concert in Harris Center. Promoted it during this crisis. But when you said Harris Center, at first I thought you said Hair Center. Just my volume.
And
And
you
I
were
was like,
and you were thinking you and I should go there?
yeah, I was wondering if, you know, you have been worried that you haven't able to get your roots done during this whole pandemic.
No, but I am trying to become a big proponent of an organization that I want to form called Men in Support of Spas, because all of the women are really not happy about their roots and their nails not being able to be done. And there's nothing better that us as men could do is to support the spa industry to be able to get open again, so we have happy wives and happy lives.
I love that. And who doesn't love a good mani-pedi,
Right.
male or female? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And, you know, the other part about it that's pretty amazing, John, is that, you know, a large number of the people that work or operate those are single women that have to support their family. And so it's really, I mean, I was just on a conversation with one of our staff people earlier saying, we need to write a letter to the governor letting our spa people know that we're advocating for them, because, you know, I don't know if anyone is necessarily, other than the situation that happened in Texas yesterday or whatever, but you know, they're all saying, hey, we'll do by appointment only. We'll limit how many people are in here. Let us make a living, because we can't make a living if we're at home. So
Yeah. We're all in it together. We, as a restaurant, of course, have just been kind of fixated on, you know, what's happening with people in our boat with restaurants. But oh my goodness, so many people are affected by this in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Tell us about your family.
So you know, my wife and I will on June 8th, we'll be celebrating 35 years. And
Wow.
yeah, and we have 3 sons, 2 of them in San Francisco and 1 in LA. Our oldest son has our first grandchild. It's the girl Elena. Elena Inez, and Inez was my mom's name, so she was named after my mom. It's pretty special because my wife was a girl with 2 brothers. Then we had 3 sons, so to have another girl in the mix, in addition to our daughter-in-law, but you know, it as she says, she needed more estrogen in the house, and so she's able to have a little daughter, that's a granddaughter that's now 2 years old. So.
Oh man, I love that so much. Grandkids are amazing, right?
They are, yeah.
Oh man, my oldest granddaughter, my birthday was a couple weeks ago now. I don't know, I've lost all track of time, but she made me a handwritten card that said basically, I'm so sorry we can't be in your house right now, but I love you so much, and at least we can have Zoom meetings. And I'm like, oh, okay, here's Poppy's gold card. Go buy whatever you want. Yeah.
Touch your heart, huh?
Yeah, they are something else. Okay, let's talk about the tech industry for just a second, because I know that you have been instrumental in some of the tech things that have come to Folsom, and I know there's other things on the horizon. Obviously, Intel has been a staple here for forever, as long as I can remember. But if I were an owner of some kind of tech company in Silicon Valley, and you wanted me to come here, how would you woo me?
So I think there's a couple of key things relative to that. First of all, you know, we all know that the cost of doing business in Folsom is significantly cheaper than it is to do in the Bay Area, where there's the greatest concentration of tech companies. So first off, your lower cost of operations here, whether it be, they pay a premium for technical expertise down there. They pay them a premium to locate down there. So the cost of facilities would be significantly less. But probably more importantly, if you are in the tech industry and they tend to really appreciate this, is employee satisfaction. And so when we have spoken to, like, Intel, one of their senior level managers relocated here, and we were doing a kind of an interview with him as to why here. And he had a choice to go to Santa Clara or to go to Hillsboro, Oregon, or and just said, why did you choose here? And he said, well, when my now boss, which was previous his interviewer, said that, if you move to Folsom, it's really going to be a gift of time. And he said, well, I don't understand. And she said, well, if you, in the tech industry, if you work in the Bay Area and you want to go home and see your child's baseball game, you're probably going to miss it because the traffic will take you so long to get there. If you want to go to the grocery store, you're going to wait in line because it's so impacted. And, so he said to us, he moved here and, he was able to coach his kids in sports. He was able to be on the lake in 5 minutes if he wanted to in the summertime. And his view was, it's a quality of life. It's a gift of time. And so I think we try to reinforce that with the decision makers at tech companies, that employee satisfaction here would be incredible compared to the lifestyle they'd have to live in one of the places, in the Bay Area where there's the highest concentration. And that's kind of our target, really, is the Bay Area, to say, you can still have a presence down there and go down there once a week or, to check on whatever, but you can have a happy workforce up here that, can be at a winery in 30 minutes or can be, on the lake. So,
Right.
So that's kind of our pitch, is lower cost of operations. You don't have to worry about earthquakes, and it's a gift of time for your employees, and in a where the climate is so reasonable, and enjoyable.
Okay, so speaking of the gift of time, how does Joe Silent G Gagliardi spend his time?
So, I think I like to get outdoors and exercise. So spend a lot of time either walking. I used to run, but I've got 2 artificial hips, so now I walk. We bike, and my wife and I both like to play golf. So, yeah. So, when we are ready to, get outdoors, that's what we do, or we travel. We love to travel. Since our kids are grown, we moved into a loft. And so I don't have any broken sprinklers or any a lawn to mow. And so we just lock the door and go when we can travel again.
That's awesome. We love camping too. We love traveling. Did you say you have a trailer?
No.
So are you a hotel guy or a tent camping guy or what?
Hotel. Yeah.
That's all right, man. Hotels.
No, I mean, we do camp on occasion, but tend to go, someplace where we can explore. And my wife would probably tell you that I drive her crazy, because when we go somewhere, I'm looking at the community and how does it lay out, how does it interact, and tend to go to, smaller communities and see maybe what the tenant mix is. Hey, this store would be really good in Folsom, or, look at, they have a lot of outside dining, or, when you ask me about my dream, I would love to have a rooftop here in Folsom, a rooftop restaurant or rooftop. And all the times, every year we go on a study mission with a group of community leaders and look at other communities. And it's been on the radar for no less than 6 years, probably closer to 10, because it's just a cool vibe, right? When you got a rooftop, it's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
cool vibe. And we don't really have any here. And the other thing would be is just some more incredible view restaurants or facilities, so
Mm.
I always give Harry Elliott a bad time about Carpenter Hill, which is the hill going, where the towers are on the east side of Folsom.
Yes.
That's the highest point in all of Sacramento County up there. This is a piece of information. So, and just say, Harry, you ought to open Harry's on the Hill up there, a restaurant with a view that you could see, everything from, the south all the way over to Folsom Lake. The Cliff House restaurant, be nice if we had something on Folsom Lake, just we have opportunities where people can enjoy the views and the environment that would really kind of would draw people from outside the area in addition to those that live here.
So if you and I both had copious amounts of disposable income, or we were handed a huge wad of cash and we went into business together, is that what we'd start?
Well, I don't know. It depends if it was, if we didn't have to necessarily make sure it was sustainable, that we just built our dream and didn't care if it didn't make money, then absolutely. If it had to make money, I don't know that Joe Gagliardi should ever be in the restaurant business, because I'd probably eat the profits.
No, no, I bet you'd be a great restaurant owner because you're a people person. You make people feel valued and you make them feel like, they're humans. And I think that's a great quality. I mean, that's the biggest thing you need to have for a restaurant, man. So I would go to your restaurant.
Well, I know. That's why I was giving you the clarification. I've never been able to be a bartender, or I've never even worked in a restaurant, but to your point, I would love it. But I don't know that I should be the person owning it, because as you can attest, it's everything beyond that social part that keeps you in business, right? You got inventory control, you got labor, you got, there's a lot to it. So I don't think I should own the restaurant, but certainly would like to be interactive in a social atmosphere like that.
Yeah, yeah. You are correct. It is a lot of work. A lot of people told us if it was a lot of work, but until you get elbows deep into it, you don't really understand how much work it takes. But.
Well, and it's John, my heart goes out to you guys, because it's a tough business, and then with all the new things they're always placing on you, whether it's the health department or it's the ABC or it's the, you gotta, that adds on to it, right? And so it takes a lot of work, and my most admiration out to you, because it's tough, and the people that succeed really deserve to be acknowledged.
Yeah. Well, to that, I would like everybody to know that I think our health department and the ABC are amazing groups of people. So California gets a bad rap for starting restaurants, but I have to tell you, these people are personable. They're easy to work with. I talked with the ABC yesterday. I called them and they remembered who I am. They talked to me by name. They knew our story. I love working with them. They really want restaurants to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think the environment in that is changed. I mean, I don't know that it was always that way. I think years back, I think they were more about, policing than they were about why not help someone succeed rather than penalize them, and sometimes people do stuff out of ignorance or maybe knowledgeable, not out of purposeful trying to not break the law, and I think
Yeah.
that's the difference. So that's great to hear. Yeah, that's really, we are, we're in the final stages of developing a recovery plan for the community. In fact, we're having a meeting to review it tomorrow. But one of the things that we put in there is really to have the ABC and the county health be partners with us, allowing people to extend premises. If we're going to have social distancing and limit how many people can be in, a lot of the feedback from our hospitality partners, whether it's restaurants or hotels, is I don't know that I can make it if I can only have half capacity, because my model is built off of being able to rent this size of a building and fill it. And so, some of the recommendations that are already in place are takeout or carry out or curbside pickup. But if we're going to allow people to start going in, can we extend premises of the ABC to maybe be the sidewalk or into the street, or maybe a centralized place where maybe the Sark District Plaza, somebody wants to get something from Reset and walk down there and sit at a table. But that's going to have to allow people to take what they now do. You can take a adult beverage outside the store, which for years was never allowed. But it's going to have to extend that to allow that to happen, and the health department is going to have to be willing to say this food's going to be outside, not inside, just a lot of things like that hopefully they're all on board with, because, we're in, as you said in the beginning, we're in this together, and we got to work together to make sure everybody can be successful.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought all of that stuff up. And we've been working, to try to make that happen. And I was just speaking with the ABC today, and, a lot of like the ABC is taking their state agency, they're taking their cues from the governor's office. And so we're really hoping that everybody can kind of get on the same page with this. I am excited about the variances that they have made so far during this. I mean, I can make a winerita and serve it in a mason jar and let people take it out of my place. That's them loosening the reins.
Yeah, that never occurred before. That's what I'm saying. That never occurred before. It was like, they'd be standing out waiting for the guy to walk out so that they could, nab you, and now it's like, this is okay.
Yeah. Joe, what do you want to communicate to the people of Folsom that I haven't asked you about?
If I was to say anything, I think, first of all, support your local people, your local businesses, because they're the ones that give back to you. I think the second thing is, you don't know how lucky you have it to have a community like this. We're all blessed to have the quality of life and the amenities we have, whether it's the trails, whether it's a secure environment from a policing standpoint, great education for our children. I just think there's a lot to be blessed about. And I think sometimes we forget that until you go somewhere else. And if I was to say anything to the community, is appreciate what you have, because it doesn't occur a lot of other places, and continue to contribute and be involved as much as you can, because it's the people that make the community.
Thanks, man.
Thank
you. One of the goals of these Coffee Convos is to find people like yourself, interesting people, movers and shakers in Folsom, and to put skin on you, to let people just get to know you a little bit better, and not just to see you as, some suit making decisions somewhere or whatever, I mean, we don't know. So this has been great to talk with you today, and I appreciate you giving us the time. Are you a coffee guy?
I can't drink coffee anymore, so because of the acid, so I drink beer, and not in the morning. I do tea lattes in the morning. I do like coffee, but I pay the price when I have it. So
Yeah.
um,
Okay. Well,
beer and wine though in the evening. So I'm waiting for you to get open so I can come and, come indoors.
yes, yes. Well, I'll get you. I have a gift for you. I'll get it to
Wow.
you, and it won't be coffee then. It was going to be coffee, but it won't be coffee.
But so I have a ask of you.
Oh, okay. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Sometime I want to interview you so I get to know you better.
I would love to do that. Thanks, man.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you similar questions that you sent me. No. But I mean, it was only through that one other time that I even learned you went to Nevada Union, as did I. And so just kind of hear your whole story, because I think the more we know about people, the more we're able to connect them and appreciate them. So.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks again.
All right.
And we'll talk to you again soon. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to send you one to interview you.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good day.
See you, man.
Bye-bye. Is that better?
I think actually it might be a little bit better.
How you been? You
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
hanging in there, as they say, right?